Jen Ritchie and her staff at Everything Pines can show you all that Southern Pines, Pinehurst, Aberdeen, and Bass have to offer. A trusted real estate professional with over a decade of experience. Each client receives a customized marketing plan featuring professional photography, drone footage, and floor plans designed just for them. For more information, go to everythingpinespartners.com and check out one of the hundreds of reviews. Everything Pines, showcasing the Sand Hills.
They were looking forward to that part.
Hey, welcome to the Zaxby's Coaches Show. Caught us off guard. I'm Chris DeLambert. With me is Coach Nick Eddins at Pinecrest High School. Coach, how are you?
I'm doing great. Doing really good.
Good. This is a cool showroom. I'm digging the Toyota behind us, man. I might take it home with me. I like the rims in particular. You guys closed out a perfect season this past weekend, and now sort of looking forward. South Garner this weekend. What do you see?
I see a lot of size. I think I told guys earlier, there's about 1,000 pounds of beef on the defensive line, just in 3 kids. So, they got a big old nose guard going to Georgia, 6'5", 350. And then, yeah, exactly. Yeah. They got his little brother who's 6'6", 295. I guess he is littler than him. And then a freshman on the other side who's 6'3", 310. So a lot of size on the defense and offensive lines. They got a 6'8" receiver. So I mean, I was just like, where did they find these guys? They go to the NBA and get them or what? But so we've got a lot of size coming into John Williams Stadium this weekend or this Friday night to play us.
So in particular, when you face superior athletes on defense, on offense, you're just going to kind of play to your strengths but stay away from them. When you're scheming for a defense like that, how does it impact what you do on offense?
Well, we met this Sunday. My staff meets on Sunday, and one of my coaches said, well, we just need to read them all. Don't block them, just read them. I said, we have to read all of them. So, I don't know what offensive system that is. I hadn't learned that one yet. But, we're going to do some things to try to tire them out. They do play both sides of the ball. They play on the offensive line, defensive line. So we're going to do some things to try to wear them out and make them tired within the game. We hope that works, and then stay with the system that has got us to 10-0 really, and that's getting the ball to Zymir Spencer and our quarterbacks, controlling the game and the passing game and different things like that. So that's kind of our plan.
You guys, more so than any team that I can think of that we've covered in the last couple of years, you guys are multiple in terms of your set. You're not necessarily running different plays, but you do it from so many different formations. And it looks as though there's an evolution as the game goes on, where you're kind of in the lab as it goes on. And, well, let's adjust this formation to get this. Talk about that process as the game goes on.
I think you're exactly right. We don't run a lot of schemes. We run them out of a lot of formations. We add some motions. Like you said, as the game goes on, we might set it here and then move there just to give the defense something different to look at and try to get you lined up where it's advantageous to us, as far as angles and things like that go. And our kids and our coaches do a good job of adjusting that during the game. And we try to find something that, maybe you don't adjust to really well. And that's what we're going to try to take advantage of.
All right, coming into this season, if I'd taken a look at the depth chart and I, did kind of look at the roster coming in, senior quarterback coming back this year, Mason Koenig, and you probably thought that position settled, but there's been a bit of a revelation over the course of the year. Cody Hansen, who's gotten more and more snaps, and it's almost a 50-50 split, it seems like. Do you prefer having 2 guys rotating out there at quarterback, or would you prefer to have 1 guy in there the entire time?
Well, that's probably a loaded question right there. Going into the offseason, we knew we had 2 good quarterbacks. Mason being all conference last year, played really, really well, and then Cody came out in the spring and did a good job, and fought and battled all spring and summer and through the scrimmages. And coming out of the scrimmages, we felt like both these guys can play. They give 2 different headaches to defensive coordinators.
Definitely.
And our defensive coordinator, who's one of the best, I think, in this area or that I've ever met, to be honest with you, said, I sat down and talked to him. I was like, what do you think about this? He said, I think I would hate it. So you got to put in 2 different game plans, basically, and they can basically run the same offense. But, one might be a little better at this or vice versa. So, it's not something – I've been doing this 22 years that I've ever done before. So I wasn't real comfortable with it at first. But, both of those kids have gotten comfortable, and they bought into it. We said this is going to work, and they bought into it, and it has. So, both of them have done a good job, and, one might have a hot hand this night, or one might have a hot hand the other night, and they kind of support each other in that role.
So that's what I was going to ask with regard to the hot hand. I'm sure you go into the game with an idea as to what the rotation is going to look like, but you lean on the guy that's hot at any particular time?
We do. We set the rotation. So, Mason starts every Friday night, and he goes in a certain amount of drives, and then Cody knows that he's going to get this drive regardless of what's happened throughout the game. So he knows he's going in then. Mason knows he's going in then. And then from there, we kind of rotate depending on, kind of what it looks like, what's going on, or who's maybe getting a better feel of it. And if both of them are playing well, we just keep going back and forth with that.
Well, when you took the job last year, you inherited a group that was some supremely talented young men out there. Yep. Some of those guys are seniors this year. Who have been the other guys that have kind of percolated to the surface that have just forced their way onto the football field that maybe you didn't see coming last year?
Well, first off, Will Miller on defense, he's our strong safety. Kicker, kicked a lot for us last year, but was injured, couldn't play a position. And he's played kind of out of his mind, with the stats that he has this year and what he's done for us as a football team, getting us lined up and whatnot. So he's been a huge revelation for us. We knew he was a good athlete. We just couldn't. He was injured a little bit and didn't have a space for him last year. But coming in this year, he had never played the safety position. Always been a linebacker, tight end, and we just saw such athleticism in him that we felt like that was where we wanted to go with him. He's one. Then on the offensive side of the ball, I would say, Eli Melton has done a good job of stepping up and playing the ball. We knew we had a great athlete last year. Didn't catch as many balls because we had Hunter Neifert. But he's stepped up and caught over 40 balls this year and caught some big balls in big situations for us. So, I think he's really stepped up his game and took it to a new level.
I think I've figured out that in terms of a running back, you like to have sort of the guy that you're going to lean on going into a game. That you've had a couple of guys that have put up big numbers this year when given an opportunity.
Right.
As you move to the postseason, do you spread it around a little bit more, or you're going to keep sticking in Spencer's belly?
Well, you got to give Zamir multiple opportunities in a game because he can make the defense
eventually
play.
He's going to get you.
He's going to eventually get you. He's just slick with that ball, and and you look at him. He's not a power back. He's not a and you time him into 40, and he doesn't really impress you there. But nobody catches him, and he runs hard through the tackles. So he's just kind of one of them kids that can do it all. He can catch the football. So, but we have other guys we can lean on. Jalen Morgan, our Wildcat guy, has carried the ball for us at times. Not as much this year as he probably did last year. And then we got some young backs with Chris Nijam coming up from the JV who had a big game against Southern League.
He put almost 300 yards.
Yeah. So he's played really well at times. And he's a good player. So, there'll be times for all those guys, and we may even come out in the set this week where we got both of them on the field at the same time.
All right.
Who knows?
Could be a twist. So in spring practice, hope springs eternal. Everybody's got high hopes. Did you see 10-0 from this group?
That's your goal. That's what you talk about, and I just didn't know. We lost a lot of seniors, 31 seniors last year. So you didn't know what you had, and you knew where you were weak at, you knew where you were strong at, and I think our strengths have brought our weaknesses up a lot throughout the season, and the kids they kind of grew confidence as the year going on, and just played really well at times, and our defense has played well all year long. Did I see 10-0 coming? I don't know. It's hard to go 10-0. It's hard to go 10-0 on air.
Certainly.
But just really proud of these kids because, again, it's the first time it's ever happened in school history. So, they've accomplished something nobody else has.
Wow. Well, still more left to accomplish.
Right.
And we'll talk a little bit more about that, and we'll give away some hardware when we come right back. You're watching the Zaxby's Coaches Show.
They say break bread with your enemies.
You're not wanted in this town.
I say go further.
Keep walking.
Take their favorite sandwich, break it, fill it up with delicious fried chicken. That'll show them you really care. Zaxby's Fried Chicken Philly.
Fried chicken on a Philly?
That's how they show love in Philly. Now I must eat you. It's fried chicken on a Philly!
Is that Top Lumber?
90 years ago, First Bank was founded. You know First Bank, the one where you are greeted by name, the one dedicated to the community, and the one born in the heart of the Carolinas.
We help our customers to realize their dreams by providing financial solutions and building trusted relationships. My name is Rich Trogdon, and we are First Bank.
Let's stand. All right, welcome back to Zaxby's Coaches Show. Joined on set, you got to get him in the shot. We'll go right.
He's right there.
Oh, there we are. Well, we got up to your chest. Got your numbers. That's how coaches refer to you anyway. Coach, you got the players of the game from this past week. Crosstown rivalry, Union Pines. Talk a little bit about that game and then these two young men that are with us.
Well, I mean, it was a big game for us. We wanted to go in there and play well. Our kids were excited about it, finish and a chance to finish the season 10-0, which is what our long-term goal was when we set it at the beginning of the season. So to be able to go and do those things Friday night, really proud of the kids. They did a wonderful job. And some of the guys that stood out Friday night on the defensive side of the ball, number 12, Will Miller, he's one of our safeties. Also kicks for us, did a tremendous job, had a couple sacks. We put in a safety blitz this week, and he got after the quarterback, making some plays there. And then our slot receiver, Ricky McCardo, returned the punt for a touchdown, caught 2 touchdown passes, one on the screen, one on a wheel route. So 3 touchdowns in the game. So he was really excited, and everybody was excited for him because he worked his tail off. They both did.
Well, guys, I got to ask you, Pinecrest never gone undefeated through a regular season before. I'm sure at some point somebody in the locker room figured that out. Did you guys know that no Pinecrest team had ever gone undefeated through regular season?
Yeah, we've throughout the season we knew that this was the first time, especially since last year, it was our first time winning conference, and we decided we're going to break another record this year, so we're going to go undefeated as well. So it's a great feeling. Was there any pressure that came with that? Talk about what it felt like as you got to 6-0 into 7-0 into 8-0. On through to the beginning of last week. Was there any pressure with that? What was the feeling?
Well, Coach said that we're the buffalo in the herd, right?
Yeah, that's right. Run right into the storm. Mm-hmm. We don't run away from it. Run right into it.
All right. You guys, what's the goal at this point?
Just keep doing what we're doing.
Keep winning. Keep playing good football. There's another record we can break, is most wins in Pinecrest school history. Right now we're at 11. So hopefully we can break another record with this team.
All right. Have you guys had a chance to look at tape on South Garner yet?
Yes, sir.
What do you see?
Big linemen. They got some big linemen.
They got a Georgia commit too.
Yeah, they got a pretty solid receiver at number 14, and then a taller receiver that they throw some fade routes to. He's 6'8". Yeah. That's kind of what I noticed.
All right, you guys have all the confidence in the world you can get to get past these guys?
Yes, sir. Yeah, I think we can get the job done.
Perfect. Coach, you got a good group of guys, well represented right here. We'll take a quick break. Coach Eddins and I will talk a little bit more about what's next for Pinecrest.
At the Shed Depot of North Carolina, we believe there's a better way to buy a shed. One where all the selection, all the quality, and all the service are in one place to make your buying experience easier. Visit our sales center located just off US Highway 1 in Sanford, or get started today at ShedDepotNC.com to view in-stock models or to design your perfect shed using our 3D design tool.
Ace Hardware in Southern Pines and Seven Lakes is the #1 backyard and barbecue Ace Hardware store in the U.S., featuring Traeger, Big Green Egg, and Weber grills, with a full line of Magnolia Home Chalk and interior paints by Chip and Joanna Gaines, and a full line of Benjamin Moore paint. We feature a complete line of steel and Ego power tools.
Visit Randy and Jill Saunders or Kathy Thompson in Southern Pines or Seven Lakes.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
Ace Hardware.
Welcome back to the Zaxby's Coach Show. Coach, you took the job here at Pinecrest a couple years ago, and people talk all the time about high school programs and that they're traditional powerhouses and the royalty. You came into a school here at Pinecrest that really had developed something special in terms of the amount of talent that they were churning out year in and year out, the number of young men that were going on to play college ball. Talk about what it is at Pinecrest with, beginning from youth football all the way through your program that has ensured that Pinecrest just really kind of reloads every year.
Well, I don't think you can talk about all that stuff without mentioning Coach Metzger. Coach Metzger, 16 years ago now, I believe it is, came in and laid the foundation for that. The program wasn't in a great place at that time, but, he got the community to buy in, and a lot of people wanted it to be good. And like you said, they started the Sand Hills Patriots youth program that is well known around the state. And I think that's, along with a lot of other things, that's one of the things that has really brought Pinecrest from where they were to where we are now, is having these kids, all these kids in Moore County and even the surrounding counties. Some of those touches are playing for us also in that youth league, because it's such a great league. And they're going to play football at a younger age, and I think that matters, because they're learning the fundamentals and they're learning, all the things that they need. And even some of those guys that are coaching are on my staff, and they were on Coach Metzger's staff, so they're learning what they're going to have, from when they get there, what they're going to be learning from us. They're learning at an earlier age. And our middle schools, when I got here, I went by Southern and I went by West Pine and Cranes Creek, because we get some of the kids from Cranes Creek also, and just talk to those coaches, and they're bought into the whole program system. It's not about what they can do at this certain school or that certain school, but what can we do to make this program and Friday night be as special as it can be, because those people have a huge hand in it, that do those things. So, like I said before, Coach Metzger put those wheels in motion, and I knew, with being familiar with the area where I was coming and what it would look like, and where maybe we could take it from there. So all that foundation was already laid.
So being a high school football coach, a lot of work, a lot more work than people that haven't been in the mix realize. And when you take and you add to that the layers of responsibility and work that you have to put in to kind of be the caretaker of that entire framework that's built, are there days where you ask yourself, man, did I really want to get in this? I could be someplace else and just kind of do the thing within the four walls of my high school.
Well, my first year coaching, which was as a head coach 13 years ago, I've been a head coach for 13 years. I won't go into the whole story, but I asked myself that question a lot those first few days. Like I was coming from Richmond County. Coach Hoggard was the head coach over there, and I thought a couple of days, I said, man, if I call him, will he hire me back? I'm going to be an assistant again. I don't have to do all this stuff. But, I learned from my mistakes, and you learn something new every day. You deal with a situation every day, whether it's with a kid or administration or whatever, and, it's just gotten better and better. I got great mentors to lean on. It's a lot of fun. I wouldn't say that the head coaching part is all that much fun, but working with the kids and trying to be a mentor to them, and working with your staff and trying to do the same thing for them, or learning from those guys, is a lot of fun. I've been doing this 22 total years as a coach. I don't think I've ever worked a day in my life. And I might come to work for 13, 14, 15 hours, whatever it is, but I ain't really working. I'm having a ball.
I love it. You said that, knowing the foundation that Coach Metzger had laid, you said you were interested in where you could take it. What are your personal goals with sort of expanding or building upon that foundation that was built?
Well, I came in last year and we talked about winning the conference championship. Well, we did that, and we've done it 2 years in a row. Now undefeated regular season. The ultimate goal for all coaches is to bring a state championship home to your program. That's the ultimate goal. That's what we talk about every year. That's what we work towards in the weight room and in off season and throughout the season. So, that's the ultimate goal as far as wins, losses, and where the program goes. But I think that my biggest goal is to try to help raise great young men and women, bring great dads into our community, great workers, and people that know the responsibility and teamwork aspects of their life. What that gives them. So I think that's my responsibility as a coach. Of course you want to go win a state championship, but I take that second part a whole lot more seriously than anything. Just being a great role model and having those guys come back with their wives and their kids and say, this is my coach 20 years ago, look at him. And that's important to me, and I have a lot of those guys come back from my years of coaching at all my stops. So that's rewarding for me. That's a state championship right there.
There's only a couple titles that once you finish doing it, you get to carry on the rest of your life. So you're always going to be coached.
Right.
You know, if you quit tomorrow, you'll still be coached to a lot of young men, and that's an amazing thing. I'm not trying to bait you into saying something controversial. I want to preface that question by saying this. I've had scores of conversations with 3A coaches throughout the region, throughout the state, with regard to the way the conferences are built now. Next year may be is scheduled to be the last year of the Sandhills 3A, 4A in its format, which means that after this season there will be a meeting, convene, the ADs and whatever organization is coordinating at that point are going to decide whether they're going to keep it at a 4A system, whether they're going to 5, 6, 7, whether they're going to split the 4 classifications into 2 classes when they go to playoffs. Bottom line is, there may be significant changes.
Right.
The 3A schools, nobody has a soft opinion. They're all these strong opinions. They either love it, they hate it. Nobody's just down the middle, and they're like, I really don't care what they do with it, because of the way these conferences have been split between 1A and 2A, 2A and 3A, right. 3A and 4A. From a 4A standpoint, you're not just a 4A school. You guys are one of the bigger 4A right. schools around. What is the take for a coach in your position as to what happens with the conference realignment? And I guess by saying that, would you prefer to stay in a mixed conference playing 3A schools 3 or 4 times a year, or would you prefer to play schools that are close to your size all through your conference schedule?
You know, preference-wise, I'd prefer to play 4A schools, or big schools like us. I don't have a problem playing the what is now labeled as 3A schools, because I think we have some of the better 3A schools in the state, and they give, we have great games with those guys, but if it's going to continue to be built by the RPI and all that as far as your playoff position, then, I want to try to play people that, that represent and can help you build your RPI up. But that is what it is. I like and if that changes, I don't know what that might look like for us. We might, still be playing the Richmonds of the world and the Hoaks, but we might take more trips up, number one, and go play some more Raleigh schools. I like playing the ones that border us. I grew up in Anson County. We played Richmond, Scotland. Lee was 4A then. All those people were right around us. So that made for good rivalries, because that's what I knew. But I like that part, playing those ones that touch us. But, I think if it's going to benefit us in playoff position, I'd probably rather play the 4A schools.
You pointed something out that a lot of people there hadn't been a whole lot of talk about, and that's because of the RPI. Schools are finding it more and more difficult to build that preseason schedule, especially if you're a team like, say, Lee County, for instance. What 4A team wants to play you? Right. Nobody.
Right.
Because there's no value in the RPI, and it works its way all the way down. So that's an interesting twist on it. What you said is the drawback if we go to a 4A or a 5A, is the travel burden, and it's going to be the 1A schools and the top tier, 4A, 5A, whatever, the bigger burden is going to be on them. So that's the argument against a tighter alignment. You did a good job with that, Coach, and you weren't scared off by the question. Some folks don't want to talk about it.
I don't. It doesn't bother me one way. They're going to do what they do, and we'll go play who we can play. So that's is what it is. That's my preference. But
So if the state came to you and said, we're going to align these conferences, but we're going to give you a chance to put one team in your conference with you that you get to play every year, regardless of reason, what team would you want to play against and why?
There's a bunch of them. I like playing all those guys, and with prior relationships and whatnot. I think we're building a pretty big rivalry with Richmond County. I'm sure it was already that way before I got here. And I wouldn't say it's as big as Richmond and Scotland is. I don't know if anybody's as big as Scotland, but I think we're right there. I think, so I would like to continue to play Richmond County, just because of their history and the history we've had in this series and with us and them. So, that would be my preference.
I think that, people talk a lot about Richmond being a place that's intimidating to come into. I mean, first of all, you've got all the history there, but then they do the things with the lights, and it's always a good crowd. I think that Pinecrest, to me, is getting close to that same level in terms of the intimidation. I mean, you turn out a great crowd every weekend. Yep. Beautiful surface. You guys come running out. Are there things that you look at and you're like, let's twist this up a little bit just to get in their head across the sideline a little bit?
Yeah, I mean, our student section does a good job with that. We've got one of the wildest student sections in the state. So they do a good job getting in the other team's head, I think, before we even get a chance to. So but we do have a great venue. I love it with the new turf and our stadium. We've even seems like through COVID, post-COVID, we're still churning out big crowds, and some people aren't anymore. So our community's really bought into supporting these kids and having a great program.
All right. Hey, Coach, thanks for hanging out with us.
Yes, sir.
Good luck this weekend. We'll have a crew at Pinecrest doing the game this weekend. I will be a long way away in Fike County, but I'll be checking my phone regularly to see updates on the game. So best of luck, and onward into the second round.
There we go. We hope so.
All right, Coach. Good to see you.
Thank you, brother.
You're watching Zaxby's Coaches Show. We'll be right back after these messages.
Jen Ritchie and her staff at Everything Pines can show you all the Southern Pines, Pinehurst, Aberdeen, and Bass have to offer. A trusted real estate professional with over a decade of experience. Each client receives a customized marketing plan featuring professional photography, drone footage, and floor plans designed just for them. For more information, go to everythingpinespartners.com and check out one of the hundreds of reviews. Everything Pines, showcasing the Sand Hills.
Buy your next new or used car the way you want to buy with the Pinehurst Toyota Smart Buy program. Visit PinehurstToyota.com and choose or build the vehicle you want. Try the Pinehurst Toyota Smart Buy. It's the easiest way to buy your next new or used car.
All right, welcome to the Zaxby's Coaches Show. Union Pines is in the house. Coach Brooks, how are you?
Doing great, sir. Nice to meet you.
Good to meet you. Good to meet you. I'm looking at that ring.
Oh, yes, sir.
Rings.
Yeah.
Talk about the rings.
Well, my high school days, from Eddins, Georgia. Eddins Knights, go Knights. My junior year, this is my baseball ring. We went 29-1.
Oh, wow.
Right. Then my senior year, we went undefeated. So we had a winning streak of 52-0. So it's something I'm trying to bring to the players, that hard work.
In baseball, you guys went on a 52-game winning streak.
Yes, sir.
Man, that doesn't happen at any level of baseball.
Exactly.
Wow.
So
all right.
The commitment, I try to teach my players that hard work pays off. You just have to not like the sport. You have to love it.
Definitely.
It has to be a part of your lifestyle, day in and day out.
So where does from high school baseball greatness through to the running backs coach position that you have now, how'd that path look? How did you find your way there?
Well, actually, 27 years military, retired, loved Friday night football, loved the high school life, So I had an opportunity to coach the middle school. So I guess Coach Trousdale saw something with me just working hard with the players, invited me to come out to the high school. And they needed a little help instead of, talking about it, I want to be about it. So I joined the staff, and I've been having a ball ever since,
Very good. And you've got some talented young men in that room with you.
Yes.
Talk about those running backs and talk about, the growth this year and what your expectations are for next year.
Oh, tremendous. The growth for this year, like I try to tell the running backs is just to work hard, to get them to believe that we're a threat anywhere on the field. No matter where my running backs touch the ball, we're a threat to score. If it's on our own 5-yard line, that one play, we can take it to the house. Run hard. Let's not just take the hit, let's hit the defense. Protect ourselves at all time. Make that defense earn that tackle. Our mentality is one defensive player will not bring one Union Pine running back down. It's going to take the whole team to bring us down.
I love it. This year, the record doesn't tell the tale, I don't think. Talk about this team, the 2023 Union Pines Vikings, and what you'll remember most about this group.
Wow, the hard work. What I remember about them is the guys that came in early, January, putting in their hard work, and it showed. The hard work paid off. That's the part of the program that I'm dedicating myself to give my free time up to be there for those players to come in. What I look at now for 2023 season, just the hard work those guys put in. Watch those guys showing up early for practice, staying after practice. Hey, coach, let me get some more handoffs. Let's hit the blaster every day. Well, that's one of my things. The players know we're hitting the blaster every single day.
All right, very good. This past week, you guys were able to knock off Lee County for the first time in history.
Correct.
Went in, hoping to shock the world again and knock off undefeated Pinecrest. Pinecrest got the better of you, but talk about what happened in that game that you saw that shows promise for next year or you think went well.
Oh, yes, sir. I mean, we started off great. If those who wasn't in the game, the half, we were in the game. From that first half, it was 0-0. The first drive, we drove it all the way down. Promising, I think I can see is our guys, the fight, the will to fight. They never quit. Something we need to work on is we have a front line. We need guys up front, bigger guys up front. We need more depth. I think if we had more depth, we'll get a great team, school like Pinecrest. We're rotating guys. They're rotating guys almost, We'll never do that. We had guys going both ways.
Yeah, that's the challenge that in
Right.
particular you and Southern Lee face is
Yes.
You got 13 or 14 guys
Right.
that are playing versus Pinecrest and Scotland.
Right.
And Hoke and even Lee, where they're, it's 11 on defense, 11 separate guys on
Right.
offense.
Correct.
You probably got 11 separate guys on the kickoff team. So it's got to be a source of frustration, but it also is a tribute to your guys because I don't think anybody's watched Union Pines play in the last 3 or 4 years has ever said, man, they quit.
Exactly. Our guys had a never quit attitude, and that's what we preach in every day. Resilience. We can beat any team. Like you said, the record doesn't show how we kind of like self-destruct on certain plays.
Yeah.
We had some great drives, and then certain mishaps, personal fouls, turning the ball over. If we clean things up like that, like I tell the guys every day, mistake-free football win games.
That's true. So coming out of 2023, I know you're already looking ahead to 2024. Which position groups do you think are the most settled where you're like, all right, that doesn't need all of the attention? Where are the position groups that you know are pretty well set and the ones that you've got some real question marks about moving into next year?
First, I'm going to start with the question marks. Question mark, once again, are up front. We have to get the line situation where we have a solid front, both offense and defense. As far as going into next season, 2024, we have some young guys. As far as quarterback position, I think for my position, looking at him, he's smarter. He makes great decisions playing the ball. Our running back, Caleb Milton, who will be back.
Caleb Milton, I would imagine, will be a a front runner for some accolades as we go into next season?
Most definitely. Hard runner. He's faster than he was. I can see that growth in him. He'll be able to carry the rock, pretty much the whole game. Just hand it off to him. He will do well. He'll be very effective in games. We have the defensive players coming back. Harley, he's a hard hitter. He should do something promising for us. Fields, he's another one I think should help us out on defense. Our kicking game has improved.
That's a good thing.
Yes, that's a good thing.
Ask Southern Lee, who won at the gun with a 43-yard field goal the other night.
Right, yeah. So, but overall, like I said, we got some points that was promising for us. But honestly saying, we still got some growth, but we're coming. We're coming.
All right, looking forward to it. We'll take a quick break, and we'll bring out the players of the game from this past week for Union Pines. You're watching the Zaxby's Coaches Show.
We have a home at 225 Sainsbury Place.
Bring it.
We have automobiles.
Bring it.
I have golf clubs.
Bring it.
We have a trampoline.
Bring it.
I have jewelry.
Bring it. For all your home, auto, life, all your insurance needs, give us a call at 919-774-4440.
Come see us in person, 1720 West Edward Drive in Sanford, right beside Dexter Steakhouse.
North Carolina Farm Bureau is the proud sponsor of
Scholar Athlete of the Week Award.
They say break bread with your enemies.
You're not wanted in this town.
I say go further.
Keep walking.
Take their favorite sandwich, break it, fill it up with delicious fried chicken. That'll show them you really care. Zaxby's Fried Chicken Philly.
Fried chicken on a Philly?
That's how they show love in Philly. Now I must eat you. It's fried chicken on a Philly!
Is that Doug Lundgren?
All right, welcome back to the Zaxby's Coaches Show. Coach Brooks. Got some young men out here with us. I think I know these guys, but I'll let you do the introductions.
Yeah, this is our linebacker, Womack, Austin. Womack did a great job. He definitely improved from last year. Definitely saw that. And Austin also, he's a linebacker too, but he also a quarterback for us. So he showed great improvement in that area also. But I'll let those guys talk for themselves.
Guys, what are your memories of this year going to be?
Start off the season team camp at UNCP. That was pretty fun, just bonding with the team. And then the coaches, they did a great job just guiding us through the way, just teaching us about adulthood and being more of a better human, just in general, besides football.
So tell me this. You guys are in the building. Tell me the things that you've seen and lived that give you confidence that Union Pines is on the way up.
I think in our high school career, we kind of had a tough one just with a lot of coaching changes and COVID happening. And I feel like that was really tough on Union Pines as a program. So I feel like with all the coaches that we have now, I think they're pretty locked in and all we can go from here is up.
All right, so if you could go and whisper in every freshman and sophomore's ear during the offseason, what kind of advice would you give them?
Hit the weight room hard and just bond and create memories with each other.
All right, is there, for either of you guys, is there one play or one game that you feel like you're going to carry off and be thinking about 20 years from now?
I think beating Lee County.
Probably my pick six against Lee County. That was pretty memorable.
I kind of thought y'all were going to say something like that. And you know what? You're right. You will remember 20, 30 years from now, I promise. Guys, it's been great. No more trophies for you guys after tonight, though, man. That's awful.
No more gift cards.
I know. No more Zaxby's. Man, hey, you guys, always a pleasure to have you guys around. We'll take one more break, and Coach Brooks and I will come back and put a bow on this show. You're watching the Zaxby's Coaches Show.
90 years ago, First Bank was founded. You know First Bank, the one where you are greeted by name, the one dedicated to the community, and the one born in the heart of the Carolinas.
We help our customers to realize their dreams by providing financial solutions and building trusted relationships. My name is Rich Trougdale, and we are First Bank.
Ace Hardware in Southern Pines and Seven Lakes is the #1 backyard and barbecue Ace Hardware store in the U.S., featuring Traeger, Big Green Egg, and Weber grills, with a full line of Magnolia Home Chalk and interior paints by Chip and Joanna Gaines. and a full line of Benjamin Moore paint. We feature a complete line of steel and Ego power tools.
Visit Randy and Jill Saunders or Kathy Thompson in Southern Pines or Seven Lakes.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
All right, welcome back. Final segment of the final regular season game, our regular season coaches show. Coach, we talked earlier with Coach Eddins, and Pinecrest is in the mix. Just like a normal week, they're getting ready to host South Garner this weekend. But on the flip side of that, you guys are at the point where you're like, well, there's finally a period on the end of this sentence. When do you start the process, and what does it look like getting ready for next season?
Well, I'm going to say it like this. Like some of the players asked me, Coach, when does football season start? I said, when did the last game end? We start right away. So our guys already got a mentality. I have players already ask me, hey, Coach, are you going to be in the gym tomorrow? Or are we going to working out in the field tomorrow? So we're gearing up for next year. It has already started.
All right, so there have been some dramatic changes over the last 3 or 4 years with Union Pines. Obviously, Coach Trousdale came in, replaced the outgoing administration, but you guys have changed the offense a couple of times.
Yes.
Without giving anything away, are we going to see you guys change the system, or are you going to work to perfect what you're doing now, or is it going to be a combination of both?
As games go on, with my standpoint, it's probably a combination of both. But with me, as a running back coach, I'm just having my guys to perfect their craft, to be the best offensive running back they can be. So I work on that aspect. The head coach, that's his lane for us, what we do. But it's probably a mixture of both as we play different teams.
All right, very good. Coach, good to get to meet you.
Definitely, sir. My pleasure.
And we will see you very soon. Tell Coach Trousdale I said,
definitely.
How's it going? He's one of my favorite human beings.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It's been a pleasure.
The final Zaxby's Coaches Show of the regular season. I don't even know what the postseason schedule is yet, but stay tuned. You'll figure it out. We'll be in Fike County this weekend as Southern Lead travels up there, looking to knock off as a 26 seed the number 7 and Coach Brooks. They're going to do it. Mark my words. I'm calling it. I don't make predictions often. Southern Lead's going to beat Fike on Friday.
Okay.
And Pinecrest will hold serve, and they will knock off South Garner at home. As for the Scotland and Richmond games, I don't have a strong enough opinion to make a prediction. You got one?
I'm with you. Not strong enough prediction as yet, but I wish both teams best of luck.
Oh, for sure. We want all the Sand Hills teams to get it done. This is a great time of year. We'll be on the road and hopefully still have teams from the conference playing in through Thanksgiving. All right, I'm Chris. This is Coach. This has been the Zaxby's Coaches Show. We are out of here.
90 years ago, First Bank was founded. You know First Bank, the one where you are greeted by name, the one dedicated to the community, and the one born in the heart of the Carolinas.
We help our customers to realize their dreams by providing financial solutions and building trusted relationships. My name is Rich Trougdale, and we are First Bank.
Zaxby's Coaches Show, brought to you by Legacy Commercial and Residential Construction, Farm Bureau Insurance, and Zaxby's Friends, Family, Flavor. With your host, Chris DeLambert, only on the NFHS Network, brought to you by New Image Media.